Yeah, y'all, we here, Truck Like Us. I got the good brother Trucker B in the building. What's going on, Trucker B?
What's going on? What's good?
Everything good. You know, I had to get you on the show. There's a lot of controversy going on with this, with a lot of prime drivers right now. So I just had to get you on the show and, get your expertise on certain things.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, so let's just knock this one out the park real quick. So is leasing really a trap, or some of these drivers just don't know how to hustle? Like, what's really going on with this leasing at prime?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you, leasing at Prime is one of the best leasing company that you can go through. First of
Hmm.
all, a lot of these drivers they get a check and they go home for a whole week.
Yeah.
Now they ain't realizing that you leasing, you running a business. So now it may take you, freight ain't like it used to be. It might take you 2.5 weeks to get out of the hole. But can you really afford to go that long? So
Right.
you getting discouraged. On top of that, you don't want to. Who want to stay out 2 weeks without no money? So they going home some more, staying more in the hole. They just digging themselves farther in the hole. The biggest problem with the leasing at Prime is drivers don't know how to take home time or when to take home time. That's my take on it.
Right. And what I noticed too, a lot of drivers, like if you're OTR, like first of all, a lot of drivers want to stay close to home, or they want to go home very often. And in trucking, that's not necessarily a good mix. You want to go home often. Now I can understand if you want to stay regional, or yeah, you want to do southeast only, you want to do midwest only, or something like that. But just to do like 2 or 3 states and then you want to go home every weekend, that's almost impossible. Like, what's your take on that?
I agree with you. It's impossible. Like if you're gonna lease and okay, about the first 3 4 months, you gonna rarely see home probably 2 days every month, 2 3 days every month, because you want to get your bread up
Hmm.
so you can afford to take off. And you ain't stacking your bread to take off. You stacking your bread so you can afford to live while you getting out the hole, while
Right.
you out that week without getting a check. So
Mm.
my take is if you're trying to go home every day, you don't need to be able to roll leasing. You need to be with a company if you're trying to go home every weekend.
Right, or even like a small company like in your neighborhood. And what a lot of drivers don't know too, some Class B jobs pay more than Class A jobs working with the mega companies. Because then, if that's the case, you should get a driving job that pay hourly where you can go home every day. You shouldn't be working with Prime or JB Hunt or Snyder and want to go home every day or every weekend. You're not really gonna make no money like that.
And you absolutely right. And a lot of drivers reach out to me. The first thing they ask me is like, bro, how you be home so much? And they don't understand. Like it seems like I'm at home a lot, but I'm not at home. It's just that I know how to take my home time. I might get me 2 days here, but I might be gone for another 2 weeks and just get me a day here. But I'm not going out of my way to go home. I'm just
Right.
getting loaded while I'm telling him like, hey, you got something I can swing by the house. He might send me a load, dropping off an overnight. I'm gonna go by the house and dispatch out the next day.
Right, right, right. And what I noticed too was a lot of controversy going on. You got Romane the Trucker. He recently left Prime. He was like a big Prime driver, company driver, but he left Prime and went to another company, but he was like down talking. And everybody has their differences. This is no disrespect to Romane the Trucker, but he was like saying like the downside of leasing versus company driver. So it's like a little friendly riff going on. Company driver versus lease driver. I mean, I guess it all depends on your hustle. Like, what you think about his situation?
Well, I don't really, I ain't take no shot at him. I shout out to Romaine the Trucker.
Hmm.
I was just speaking real when I say like nowadays, man. I tell people like we just ain't in the times for you be chasing miles. Like we just ain't in that area no more. I think that area is passing us by. Like so, he took a big chance. Going to where he gonna have to run for miles. Like, cause the miles might not be there.
Right. That is not guaranteed.
Yeah, that's not guaranteed. Like, and I was being so 100 when I said that. people thought I was being funny, but when I tell you, like, a lot of these smaller companies, they seasonal with the work. Like, they have a lot of work in the summer or in the spring or in the winter, but then vice versa. Come the winter or the summer, they might be slow. You might not
Hmm.
be getting as many miles. They freight slow down, but the mega carriers gonna have it year round. That's one pro to a mega carrier. You gonna move year round.
Right. Right, right. That's a fact. What I wanted to ask you too, what would be your advice for like somebody who just got their CDL? Because sometimes it's hard for them to get a job. They don't know how to manage. So, what would be your advice for like a new CDL holder? Should he go company or like lease driver? What would you suggest for like a new CDL driver?
Me, honestly, man, honestly, my honest answer to that would be, you got to ask yourself, okay, how long I'm willing to stay over the road at a time before I need to come home? Another thing you want to ask yourself, am I a lazy driver, or do I really want to get out here and make me some money? And, if my goal is to get my own truck, go ahead and try to get my money as quickly as possible. And then you got to ask yourself, like, am I willing to sacrifice? Like, if you're not willing to do them, like, to just sacrifice like a lot of stuff, like missing holidays and missing certain events, then you don't need to be out here, period. Because
Right,
you ain't gonna do but get frustrated.
right.
And a frustrated driver out here ain't good for nobody.
Right. And you
But
and you mentioned a good thing. Sacrifice is a big thing. You have to make some type of sacrifices being out here. You're gonna have to miss something, and it's for a good cause if you're working hard, if you're making the money.
right, it's for a good cause. Like I tell people, like, okay, if you willing to sacrifice 3 months so you can put yourself in position to where you with prime, you can come home every 2 weeks and you ain't feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
Now the ball in your hand. Now you can run how you want to run. You know, you ain't got to be out here stressing like, dang, I want to go home this second week, but I can't because I need the money. You can just go home because you got your bread right.
Right,
See, when you get your bread right, trucking become less stressful. It's only stressful when you don't know how your week to week gonna go,
right. And you ain't got
and
no
you
cushion.
depending on the next week.
Right. Now that's the thing, because then the stress come in, and then the bills keep kicking in, and then it's like you out on the road for nothing. Like, what are you doing?
And that's when you become depressed. And a lot of truckers become depressed because you alone majority of the time on these trucks. So you become depressed, and you don't want to be out here depressed because, again, you're not good for no truckers, the ones that happen or whatever, because your mind ain't in the right place. You don't know what you'll do out here on this road.
And when you mention the word depressed, that's a big thing too, because especially drivers who have wives or fiancés or just like a main woman in their life, like if stuff ain't going on right at home, that'll affect the job too, your performance at work.
I 100% agree. And that's in every industry. Like, you ain't even got to be trucking with that going on. Like, that can be
Hmm.
in any job. Like, you know, what going on at home gonna affect you when you come to work.
Hmm. That's a fact, yeah. Because when everything is going on good, it motivates you. Especially you got a good woman in your corner, and she holding down the house, and you ain't got to worry about. Because some drivers be breaking their neck to go back home because they think old girl cheating.
I- Hey, facts, them big facts. And I tell guys all the time, like, the first time I tell guys, they like, how long you stay? I said about 3 weeks. I said, but if the money looking good and I'm banking the whole every 3 weeks, I might do me one more week.
Hmm.
They be like, man, I don't know how you do that. I'm like, why you can't do it? Man, what you do about your girl? Man, what? Cause I thought the money came first. I
Right.
don't know. Now the new era different. Like, the woman come before the bread with the new era, bro. I ain't built
Right.
like that, bro.
No, and what it is, they don't understand. You have something solid at home, so you're not worried about your wife cheating or your woman cheating or your girlfriend cheating. Like everything is good. Y'all got a good foundation, and that stuff like that motivates you to put in that work. And then when you come home, everything is good. You got money in your hand.
That's what I'm saying. And, like, even though I got a dispatcher, my wife sort of is like my my bookkeeper and dispatcher. Like, she gonna see the load. She gon' okay, she gonna see what I bring. She like, okay, I'm gonna give you this allowance this week. We're gonna put this up.
Mm-hmm.
She might tell me, if you stay out one more week, you know, for this month alone, we're gonna say such and such $1,000 off just this run alone. Because we look at everything in terms of a run, a 3 week run, a month run, a month and a week run, however the run is. So that's what we said. Like, how much we gonna try to save this run? How long you gonna stay out this run? Because if I'm doing 2 weeks, it ain't much as it ain't on no save. It just I'm gonna run 2 weeks, pay this, and then come on back home. Boom. But now when I'm out past 3 weeks, okay, we consider that a run. So now I'm putting up, I'm putting away.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the winter time, I learned if your money right, you ain't gotta be mad and frustrated, don't want to get out in that snow. You can take off 2 weeks.
Right.
You can take off. You can dodge the snow. You when they hear that say that blizzard, hey, I'm going home. You can go home. You ain't gotta be out there in that blizzard. Cause you really when you ain't your money ain't right, you gotta be out here in that blizzard. And 9 times out of 10, you ain't really finna be moving.
Mm-hmm. Lately, it's been like snowing down south, so sometimes y'all be getting some snow too.
That's what I'm saying. We ain't even got no ice truck down south. So you can imagine how that is down here when it snow.
Yeah, crazy. So what else I wanted to ask you, for those who don't know, can you really like break down how does the lease operation work at Prime? Like how does a lease driver make his money? Like what's the ins and out? How much is he paying for the truck, the maintenance? How much is he grossing and how much is he netting? Like can you break it down for those who don't know, for those who might want to
Okay,
get in?
okay, everybody gonna be different.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I say that is because they're going off the year of your truck. That's gonna determine your payment. But for the most part, I'm gonna say my truck and everything, after a year it go down. So I'm at like 1387 for everything on my truck. That's what I'm paying a week, 1387.
Okay.
So let's just say I have a $5,000 week. We go automatically, if you got your calculator, we can just break it down like that. You can go subtract the 1387. You know that's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, boom. My fuel, I'm trying to keep my fuel at 800 or less. If I go over 1,000, it's because I'm trying to get a last load in. So I average on hand about 850 a week in fuel.
That's not bad.
That's not bad because like you ain't running like that's why I love the lease. You ain't doing no crazy amount of miles to make your money because if you got a 1,500 mile run, chances are that load gonna pay you $3,800, $3,000. So you only need a load and a half to get to a $5,000 mark.
Right.
So boom, you got your 850 coming out. So I don't know what we get in terms of the money out of the five. Cause you on average, you're gonna gross around five right now. It used to be 7 to 8, but this economy fucked up. So after that, as long as you ain't had like no oil change, no truck wash, Prime pay for their own trailer wash. They pay for their lumper fees. So basically, that's all you got coming out. So whatever left out of that, always throw another 200 on there. That's for mileage, um, tire mileage, like for going out of the way. Going off the route. And I throw an extra $200, even though it may not be there. But I'm gonna throw that on there every week. Now after that, I'm gonna subtract whatever it come out of that. That's what I'm bringing home. So if you do the math, what that is?
I got no calculator on me. Dude,
Hold on, I'm gonna
with
do
that,
it. I'm gonna do it with mine. I got it on the phone. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you. You got five. You got 5 grand
what about the
minus
escrow?
thirteen
The escrow
eighty
too.
seven. We don't got an escrow.
Y'all don't.
That's optional. That's optional.
Oh, I thought that was mandatory.
Nah, that ain't mandatory. We got a tire fund that's mandatory where they take $30. I think it's $30 or $60 a week for your tire fund. That's it.
Mm,
So you had if you ran like that and you stayed at 850, that's $2,763 you looking at bring home.
hmm. And that's
So
every week.
oh
Because some of the loads that you run, you don't look like you run a lot of miles, but you make decent amount of money.
yeah, now on the southeast you're gonna run more loads
Hmm.
because the mileage is short. But on the southeast, everything is basically pick up, drop the next day, pick up, drop the next day, pick up, drop the next day.
Yeah.
Like you have a load, you gonna keep a pre-plan on you before you drop a load on these regional. Once you get regional, that's what I've noticed. Versus over the road, you might they don't give you you might be 200 miles out, and they still ain't sent you there. You done drop. You got to go park and wait on the load to come through.
Right, right, right. That's the thing
Versus
too.
when you regional, they consider you like a what kind of a shuttle driver. So they gonna keep they gonna keep that freight on you.
And you don't got that much deadhead neither.
Nah, you don't have much deadhead at all. Like you talking 20 to 50 miles at the most. Versus when I was over the road, it had been times on the road. Although a lot of prime drivers don't know, yeah, hey, are y'all gonna pay me for the empty miles? They'll tell you if I can't get you a load pound enough to where to cover the
The empty.
deadhead miles, yeah, the empty miles, I'll pay you for your empty miles to make up for it. But 9 times 10 you dead. It been times I done dead here 800 miles. I got a load going 1,500 miles, but the load paid 5,200.
Mm,
Now folks will be like, man, you dead 800, bro. Do the total amount of miles that was for 5,200. I'm well
yeah.
over $3. So
Right.
they be like, I ain't dead here no $800. Well, you see, they don't be telling y'all. I mean, no 800 miles. They don't be telling y'all that majority of the time you dead here in 800 miles. They is not finna have you dead here 800 miles to give you a $1,300 load.
Right.
It don't even make sense.
Right.
And if they
That's crazy.
like that's crazy. Like, and if they do give you a $1,300 load, they gonna pay you for the empty miles, which gonna put you at about 2,300.
Right.
So 2,300, and then you talking about a 1,300 mile load. That's 500. So you talking about 2,300 for like a total round trip of about I said 1,300 miles. I mean, they're $2 miles at the end of the day.
Yeah, because I never been afraid of deadhead. As long as that load is picking up en route of where the destination is, I don't mind. I done deadhead 100 miles before, but it was en route. So I don't consider that deadhead. I just look at to me it's like how you look at it. Some drivers like penny pinching. They be like you gotta there's a load picking up in New York, you might have to dead to Jersey and the load is dropping off in South Carolina. Like that ain't shit. Like you better go pick that up, you know?
That's what I'm saying, man. Look, they be tripping about everything. Like, if you telling me I'm in Illinois and you telling me, hey, I ain't got no freight, deadhead in Nebraska, or they telling you deadhead to Kansas, I'm cranking up, no question asked, gone.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where all the meat loads at. You
Right.
know you finna get a big boy load coming up out of there, coming back across to the East Coast.
Right. Right. Nah, man. It's
But
like,
it
yeah, that
driver be
penny
lazy
pinching.
though.
Yeah,
They
the
be lazy.
lazy,
Like,
lazy penny pinching, and just don't understand the market and understand the hustle because the lease driver doesn't seem that bad. Because I mean, I just recently started looking into it more because before a lot of drivers was doing lease to purchase. Now lease to purchase got a bad rap because most of the drivers
yeah,
never end up
balloon payment.
purchasing. Yeah, they never end up owning the truck, and they was just lease purchasing for so long, and then I mean, shit happened, and then they had to move on.
And see, that's my thing. Like, they got the lease purchase and the lease program with Prime is basically saying itself. For one, you put a down payment, you're gonna own the truck. My thing is this: I don't want to tie my money. I don't want to tie 14,000 or however much I have to put down, 12 to 14,000. Tie my money up. And it might just be something come along to where, hey man, I hire you, man. You at home every day, and I'm gonna give you 16. You bring home 14 to $1,500 a week. Cause me personally, I'm gonna jump on that. I'm at home every day and bring that home in Alabama. Cause all cost of living way cheaper. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm finna jump on that.
Right, that's a
So
fact.
now what I'm gonna do with my money that I got tired. I'm gonna get that back. I'm just getting for the truck back. So I'm basically and just gave them my 12,000 or 14,000. So that's the reason I don't do it. But now if you doing it, you plan on owning the truck and you don't mind being on the road, that's you. But me personally, I ain't got no problem with leasing a bill. It's just like a club.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna rent this club for a certain amount. Now it's up to me to figure out how to make money while I got this club.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes money to make money. So
Right.
when it comes to trucking, in order to make money trucking, it gonna take you to run some empty miles to get to the bread. It gonna take you to take them bad loads to get in a good reload state. But these guys don't even want to do that.
Yo, bro, you just took the words like out of my mind. Like that's the thing that I used to like try to like instill into the drivers. Sometimes you have to pick the bad load to get to the good load, but it'll all will work out.
See, and that's another thing. Like we leasing, but we all tied in together because if you turn down this load that for you that's bad for you, the next driver it may be good for them, but these drivers just simply looking at the money. They not even looking at these drivers, man. These drivers that, take a load paying $2,000 on Thursday, don't drop the Monday. So you don't think you could have made $2,000 from Thursday to Monday just penny pinching doing a little load? Me probably like $2,000 from Thursday to Monday. I don't load them a run to Monday. I'm gonna be like, hell no, no, send me
Hell
something
nah,
else. He gonna be
nah.
like, they small or they small. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So get what he gonna I done had this happen. He sent me something I pick up that Thursday and drop the next day. It was paying like 900.
Hmm.
Boom. I reloaded and caught a weekend load paying like 2,700.
See,
Boom, now I'm pushing 4 bands on Monday.
see,
But
see.
they look at the money, they be so they let to see they would prime will encourage you, oh, this is a good load. And I have to tell them, I'd be like, yeah, it's a good load. It's a good load. I'm not denying that, but it's not good for me.
Right.
Well, my revenue at send me something else. They be surprised. Like, dang, he can turn down his load paying this, but he took this small load. Yes, I'm not finna end up on no Saturday morning, in no North Carolina. Because you're not gonna reload till Sunday or
Hmm.
Monday.
Right. Nah,
So
cause
yeah, I took
you
the load for 900. They dropped Friday morning, so I can get me a weekend load.
like that's being strategic. You got a plan because yeah, this one might pay more, but it stretch out longer. So at the end, I'm really losing. Versus if I take the short one, I can get another one and double the money.
That's what I'm saying. I can double them. I can double the money. That'd be my whole thing. Like that's why I said at least at the end of the day, they make it easy for you. But at the end of the day, you still got to have a brain. You still got to be like your dispatch can only do so much. He offering you the load, and you tell him, "Nah, I'll take something else." I don't like. And they might be like, "Well, the rest of them smaller." Well, like, hey, I'm just gonna take my chance. Like, hey, I take a chance all the time. Like, I'm gonna bet on me all the time.
And a real good dispatcher is going to have the mindset of similar to what your mindset is. So
Yeah,
he's supposed to be on the same time you're on. So he should be thinking the same way you think. All right, this one is too long. Yeah, it paid
but
nice.
guess what
It
though?
take up too
The
many
dispatcher
days.
job, see with Prime, they gonna give you the best load available.
Mm-hmm.
So by that load gonna be the best load available because what you get per mile and how much it's paying.
Mm-hmm.
But it ain't good for you because of how long it's taking you to drop it. So they ain't gonna tell you, hey, this load, they ain't their job. They load to get these loads off the board, get them ready to drop. They ain't gonna tell you, hey, don't take this man because it stretch out too long. But now
Right.
if you smart enough and you tell it, you bring it to them, you let them know, hey, I know what's going on. I don't need it load, it ain't good for me. They ain't gonna do it like, all right, I get something else. Switching on pre-plan.
Right, because how I used to drop it is from Monday to Thursday, all my loads have to drop off the next day for the most part, unless it's like one day over, you paying like it has to be paying well enough to make sense. Like if it picks up on Monday and drop off on Wednesday, it has to be making like 25 or more depending on the miles. So if it's like, because sometimes I'll push it, I have to like finesse a little bit. If it's 700 miles, I'll drop off the next day depending on how I'm feeling and where I'm at. But for the most part, I pick up Monday, drop off on Tuesday. Now on Friday, that's when I'll get something that drop off on Monday and make sure it's paying well enough for a load that's dropping off over the weekend. So that's how I would drop it.
Yeah, so we on the same page when it comes to that. So a lot of these drivers, but I tell them like the lease side, they ain't nothing to learn. You just gotta have common sense. Like I didn't know nothing about it. I jumped out there, but I was teaching myself like it's the same thing as when you own an operator. You first
Hmm.
jump out here, these drivers ain't finna tell you what to do because they afraid you gonna take away from their bread. So you learn it as you go. But you can't tell me you been out here 6 months and you ain't learned that the Southeast don't pay. And you steady going to the Southeast on Friday, dropping Friday morning, and now you getting a weekend load that paying you $1,100 that drop Sunday, and you, man, my revenue, bro, you keep going to the Southeast, I keep sending you down there too. You don't know no better.
Right. That's another thing. They got
I'm
to
sure
study the market.
they gotta study, like, that's the thing though. But if I'm a new driver and I'm coming into trucking, me personally, I'm gonna go for what making me the most money. That's why I say I'm gonna go lease, because I'm just gonna be completely honest. Without no experience, the job that they're gonna offer you be paying you 47 to 52 cents a mile. That ain't no money, man. And
Mm-hmm.
then they ain't gonna really be giving you no mile, 2,500 miles,
Mm-hmm.
2,700 miles. That
Mm-hmm.
ain't no money. So just go lease and make the most of the most. You gonna make more than that leasing on accident, even if you don't know what you're doing.
Right. Right.
But
Yeah.
these drivers don't tell you about, they go get these new trucks, and they go out there, they want to get the truck with the less miles, and they want to get the Volvo, or they want to get the newest Peterbilt. Me
Yeah.
personally, I'm going for an older Freightliner or something that you can fix with a Phillips screwdriver. Everything gonna be fixed with a Phillips screwdriver. If
Mm-hmm.
some tab they got the part in store, they gonna fix it. You go out there and get that Peterbilt. Some simple tab take you 3 days to get it fixed. 'Cause can't know anybody work on it.
Right. Yeah, that's a fact because the Freightliners are more efficient and effective. Like, easy to fix parts. It's like a Honda Accord. Like, they all over, easy to
Yeah, I
fix
call them the box
parts.
Chevy of the trucking community.
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing too, a lot of drivers say is like the freedom. Can you tell them like the freedom you have as a lease driver? Like, how's the freedom like?
Well, the freedom is. I ain't gonna lie, man. I was skeptical of the cameras. I was talking about leave, and then I got the camera. Realized like the camera just letting you know your mess up. It just between you and the camera, whoever running it, because Prime don't run the cameras. Another, they got an outside company running. They just letting you ran a stop sign. I done had some stuff happen on camera, and
Hmm.
but I done wrote, and where you try to go get them to look at it again. I done had some of them thrown out and some of them they kept, but it don't hurt you. It don't. It probably hurt you if you were having an accident and doing something wrong. I know it hurt you then, but just on average, the camera, it's not hindering you from having no freedom. But the freedom you have as a lease operator, like you just have complete freedom. Like you determine, like hey dispatch, I'm trying to go to, I need to be in Texas Friday night. Okay, they're gonna find you a load. You might as well dead and let them get you a load going to Texas. Or you ain't gotta go, like they don't be understanding, you ain't gotta go home. Keep some clothes in the truck. If something going on out of town in Florida and you trying to get there, like, hey, I'm trying to get down to Florida. I need to be in Florida on this day. So just keep that in mind. Okay, boom. They gonna run you, and when they get close to your day, they gonna put you in Florida. And you can go down there and party with your folks and tell them, hey, I'm gonna get dispatched. I'm gonna take a day off, then I'm gonna get dispatched. Okay, cool.
Mm,
They don't know how to run it. They think everything is, man, he got me going out here. No, tell them what you got going on. Like, you got to build a relationship with your dispatcher.
right. Now, versus like being a company driver, you don't get that type of freedom. So everything is like you basically have to do what the dispatcher says.
Yeah, they ain't no offer you load. They giving you the load. You ain't
Mm,
gonna decline it. You can't tell them where you want to go. You a company driver. If you don't like the load, they just, because I don't think they I know Snyder is one of them companies that got a forced dispatch where you can't turn out a load. I don't think Prime like that, but they ain't finna just, as a company driver, they ain't finna send you where you want to go.
right. Now, and what else I noticed about the lease driver division, it kind of trains you to like be a owner, like to be a boss. So have you ever had like thoughts in your mind to like become an owner operator soon in the future, or you just rather the lease right now?
Well, right now I done started. I got my LLC registered for my state of Alabama. I got my DOT number. I got my It's another number that people don't know about when you're running a business. I'm finna tell you the name of it. It's called a Duns and Brad number. I got
Yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah. That too. Yeah,
Like
you're right.
a lot of people don't know about that though. They ain't hip to that. People just think that, oh, okay, then I got my EAN, I'm ready to go, and I got my DOT, I'm ready to go. Now you wanna get that Dun and Brad number, because it's gonna separate your credit from A lot of people don't know you have a business without that Dun and Brad number. That business still attached to your personal credit score.
Right.
You want to separate it.
That's a
But
fact.
this stuff they don't teach you. You got to learn it. That I ain't know nothing about it. My partner around the business, he told me, okay, get you a Dun and Brad. And I like, why? He be like, because when I first got in business, I had credit cards. They had my business, my company name on them, but they was attached to my personal credit score. He said,
Mm,
so, somebody put me on game to get a Dun and Brad number so I could separate them. So if I want to file bankrupt on just a company, it don't go against my personal credit.
right. Now that's a big fact right there because you want to separate those two so it doesn't mess up your personal.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I'm moving in that direction. I'm just taking my time. I ain't in no rush. I ain't in no rush. I ain't taking no shortcuts. So I'm it'll be there soon.
So you letting it build up right now, or you just have it? Because sometimes people will have it, pay the insurance, and let the DOT number age because they don't got no more MC numbers. So now they're just doing DOT. Just using that one entity instead of using two. So you just letting it build up, or you just got it stashed?
Nah, yeah, I'm just letting it build up. My partner told me a long ago, he's like, even though you ain't finna get your truck, just go ahead and get everything. Because a lot of, when you look at doing business, they look at how long you been in business, how long you done had this number.
Right.
So, that'll help you with, because he said, they don't talk about how hard it is to start getting low or getting freight or people to trust you with their freight when you just start your business.
Hmm.
He said, so, you want to go and get it. I went ahead and got everything. He said, okay, even though you ain't using it, they going to look at the date that you had it.
Right.
So,
Because
he said they're going to help you.
some brokers would tell you, oh, you need 6 months of authority, or you need
Yeah,
12 months, or most of the time, once you pass 6 months, you should be good. And
you
then and
should
then
be
and then
good.
after that, the most you'll hear after that is just 1 year of authority. After you pass that 6 months or 1 year mark, you good. But really, the 6 months, you should be able to get most loads.
Yeah, you absolutely correct.
Yeah. So another thing I wanted to ask you too, what's the most thing you love about leasing, and like what's the one of the things that you hate the most about leasing?
Let me see. You said let me see with leasing, what I hate the most. One thing I hate the most with leasing, well, what I love the most is I I I work when I want to work.
Hmm.
I go on home time when I want to go on home time. If I want to take home time on just a Wednesday and Thursday and wake up Thursday, I might put down Wednesday and Thursday. But wake up Thursday morning, be like, all right, I'm finna go and get on back out of here. Hey, I'm ready. They get me a load for Thursday. They give me a load, get me on up out of there. But what I hate the most is when I know when I'm taking all these 3, 4 days, I'm knowing that I ain't gonna have no check that following week, but I still do it. But that's what I hate the most.
Okay. You like an owner operator. If
Yeah, you
like
like an
it,
owner operator.
yeah. If you don't work, you don't eat.
You don't eat. Even though I don't be needing the money, I still just be wanting it.
Right.
That's just the type of guy I am. I want it. Now, if a person told you, I don't care, I don't need it, I don't care about you, they ain't hungry. They must ain't hungry no more. They lost the three of them. Because me personally, I'm still hungry. So, like, I'm trying to eat every week. Even though I'm eating good, I want to eat every week.
No, that's a fact. And what I notice about you too, you stay in shape while you over the road, and that's a big thing because a lot of drivers can get complacent, not moving their body around, not sweating, not making that blood pressure pump the right way. So I noticed that you stay in shape, you get your exercise on, you're doing your push-ups, you're doing your jumping jacks, curl irons, like how you manage everything while you working too for drivers who wanna
Well,
wanna do the same.
well, honestly, with driving, I learned, my mom was a nurse, so I learned that, you take a load of aspirin every day. They just to keep you from building up blood clot because we had a job to where we sitting in the same spot and that ain't good for nobody body. So you want to take your aspirin to keep you from building up blood clot. And number
Mhm.
two, like working out is excellent for the like just for the I'm gonna say for the heart. Like they were working out for, but as far as dieting is everything for the body. Like that where your what you eat is gonna determine how your body look. I don't You can go out there and run 2 miles a day. 2 miles a day ain't no more than like 500 calories.
Mm-hmm.
A damn cheeseburger got 1,000 calories. So you run 2 miles a day and you eat McDonald's.
Yeah.
You'll gain weight and you'll be one like, how in the hell I'm gaining weight? And
Yeah.
you'll have an excellent cardiovascular system, but
Mm-hmm.
you'll be big.
Right.
So, I eat right. Like I eat chicken breast and broccoli, or I'm gonna eat chicken breast and sweet potatoes on my truck. But I'm so disciplined, I can eat it every day and every day is gonna be good. The only
Right.
way I get tired of it if I ain't got it on my truck, now I got to eat something else. But whatever I eat, I don't eat bread and I stay away from the French fries. So you know, fries cause you that's a starchy food. It causes you to get diabetes and it's gonna put weight on you. And
Mm-hmm.
if I get a burger, I'm gonna get it wrapped in lettuce versus with the bun.
Yeah, that's that. I see people doing that lately too. Cause I stay away from like pasta, rice, bread. Cause like I don't know. I guess maybe that I don't know what it is. Like that thing makes me gain weight easy. So I try to stay away from that. Like that starch is real bad, and like you said, like
Yeah.
it causes diabetes. So I just replace the rice with like some romaine lettuce. I'll do chicken. I do some shrimp. Just eating clean, like you said, because a burger is so many calories, and you can have a big plate of maybe some lean chicken and some vegetables and fruits. That's way less than what a burger is, and there's more food on your plate.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think a chicken breast is like I don't know how many. I know it's only 90 calories,
Mm.
but it's like so many grams of protein. So you gotta think about it. I can eat two chicken breasts and they only 90 calories a piece. That's only what 180 calories.
Yep.
But I'm
Versus,
full.
and you full, and it's more than a cheeseburger. It's bigger than a cheeseburger.
That's what I'm saying, and I'm full. And I can
Yep.
eat a sweet potato, one sweet potato a day will get a body all the nutrients it needs
Hmm.
to survive. Once I learned that, I had to add that to the diet.
Yeah. Because that's very important for truckers right now. Because we have to do our DOT medical, so they counting your blood sugar, blood pressure, your BMI, checking you for sleep apnea. You'd be surprised how many truck drivers out here, DOT medical card is only lasting them 2 months versus the 2 years. Because some of these places ain't playing.
Like, yeah, and then like they done got so strict, like if you on any type of blood pressure medicine, as long as you gonna get it for no matter how healthy you is 1 year. And
Mm,
you ain't even gotta tell them you on it. They got it not to where if you renew or you get any prescription with blood pressure medicine and you gotta see the egg automatically pops up so they know they can only give you a year. So ain't no
that's
need you going out like, nah, I don't take nothing. They don't care if you ain't taking the medicine, but if you got it filled or refilled
mm-hmm.
within that year, they only gonna give you a card for a year.
They're not playing, and it's like it's kind of good too, because as a truck driver, it's just like you have no option but to stay in shape. You got to keep your blood sugar down. You got to keep your blood pressure down. That sleep apnea, your body weight got to be a certain weight for your height, the BMI. So they checking, they measuring your neck, weighing you. So everything got to be on the up and up with your health, or else you're gonna be going back to the Concentra or Quest Diagnostics every 2 months or 1 year.
That's what I'm saying exactly. So I
Oh,
mean, it's good, man. It's good, but it weighs around everything. I think a lot of these truckers that's been out here over the years, that are out of shape, they doctor going pretty much gonna put whatever he want to put on there. Like he gonna lie for them.
yeah.
They blood pressure be through the roof. He been knowing for 10, 15 years. He gonna tell her, hey man, I'm putting this on the paper, but you need to make sure you taking your meds.
Right, 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 right. Now that do be happening for real, for real. What I wanted to ask you too, what do you rather for staying up over the road? Coffee or energy drinks? Because I think I choose coffee because it's more natural. The energy drinks don't work for me, and for me, coffee, I don't have to drink it every day, and I can drink a small, and it'll do the job.
Man, now that's a good question, bro. That's a good question. That's a good question. 'Cause everybody can't just drink that coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the type that If I drink the coffee, I got to put so much goddamn sugar in there. So it ain't even coffee no more. I don't even know what it like some
Yo,
sweet.
but
It like some
I
sweet
mix
juice.
mine. You see how I do mine? I go to the Pilot. So they got that Colombian coffee dispenser, and they got one called Energy Intense or Intense Energy. So what I'll do is I'll get like a small or a medium. I'll fill half of it with coffee. Then I'll go to like the hot chocolate machine and get the vanilla cappuccino. Once you mix it like that, it'll become sweet. Cause I don't want to put sugar in my drink. I just put the hot chocolate, mix the coffee with the hot chocolate, vanilla cappuccino, and that does the job. And then how my like you said, everybody it affects different. So when I drink coffee, say today's Monday, maybe, and I'm dropping off a load every day. Maybe Tuesday I don't need it. Maybe Wednesday I'll drink it again, depending on how far I'm driving. Because like you said, if you're driving 200 miles, you don't need no coffee for that. That coffee's maybe you doing like a maybe a 600-mile run. You're like, let me get a small coffee so I could just knock this out straight so I won't fall asleep. But like 200 miles, 300 miles, maybe even 400 miles, you don't really need no coffee for that.
You're right. Yeah, you know what? You telling me that I'm gonna try that tomorrow with the mix it the way you saying.
Yeah.
But me personally, I was drinking the C4s here and there, but I went away from the C4s. I went back to the Celsius, and the Celsius really don't do nothing. They just I buy them for the flavor, and I think it more so of a mind thing because don't none of them work. But when I'm riding, I like to have something to sip on, and I don't drink sodas,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't drink no diet free soda because they worse than the regular soda. So it ain't really nothing you can really sip on out there that is healthy for you because I don't drink no type of juice. I only drink water,
Right. Me
and but I
too.
will make one energy drink last for at least 400 miles
Right. Now I'm
if I
telling
do
you.
drink one.
Try to next time you go to a Pilot. I think Loves have them too. Loves has them. Pilot has them. The Quick Trip with the K, maybe the QT, and TA. I don't really go into TAs like that, but for the most part, Pilot, Loves, Quick Trip. We get the coffee that says Intense Energy or the Colombian one. Then you go to the hot chocolate machine, and I just go half and half with the vanilla cappuccino, and it'll give it like a sweeter taste because coffee does taste kind of weird if you're not used to it. So mix it with the hot chocolate, and it's better than doing it with sugar.
I damn sure will.
Yep, that's another thing. So what I wanted to ask you too before we wrap it up, like, so Romane the Trucker, he been going viral for what his thing, at Prime, because at one time he was bigging up Prime so much, he was like one of the like the prime drivers that I would watch a lot. But since he left and he had his little thing going on, and he's really heavy on the company driver, and I see your success with the lease driver. Well, would y'all do a little friendly debate?
Um, a debate. I would debate him, but cause I done did company, I done did leave, but I really couldn't debate him because I don't know. Like, I mean, I can debate him on, we just talking prime, both of us talking prime, but I don't really know like what he doing at his new company. Like, I've never even researched the company, but
Mm-hmm.
I've been out here trucking for 4 years. One thing I know. Once those truckers get a new job, we're gonna put on for our city like it's the best thing smoking.
Right.
So you don't really know how good a trucking company is until after you not a newbie no more. And they finna dumb down what they doing. When they first get you on Prime, whatever, first month or two, running you like shit. Okay. You get them up now you got the other new people coming in. Okay, now I gotta slow you down. I
Mm-hmm.
gotta make it sweet for them, because I can get them to stay.
Right.
So I'm listening to him, but after 3, 4 months, if he's still running strong as he say he running, then okay, yeah, you got yourself some. But now I know all companies are gonna run you strong the first 3, 4 months. You know, and you thinking like, dang, boy, this company good.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're not a newbie no more than 3, 4 months. Now okay, I can dumb him down. Now I got him. He probably gonna either he gonna stay or he gonna leave. That's how they thinking. Like he gonna say he gonna leave.
Right.
They'll never know that if they keep running you strong.
Right. Yeah, because you hear a lot of people say, "Oh man, Prime make you scan in a lot of paperwork. You got to scan." Is it really crazy like that with the paperwork?
bro, this Prime got the easiest goddamn everything is set up for you to not to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you might you might have 7 pages. You do everything through your phone.
Mm-hmm.
All you gotta do is take the pictures of 7 pages and press send.
Cause they
Bro,
be
what
acting like
is
it's some crazy shit. Like you gotta do all
bro,
kind of paperwork.
you gonna fill out a trip sheet to where you gonna put your truck number, the trip number on there, you gonna fill it in on the little circles. You gonna put where you picked the load up from and where you took it. All this on your phone or on your tablet. You can look and write it word for word on there. You gonna put the date, the trailer number, and you gonna put the name of the place you deliver to.
Yeah.
It takes you absolutely a minute if you quick and 2 minutes if you slow. And
Right.
after
Right.
that, you're gonna scan that in and you're gonna scan it. Sometimes you might have a bill of lading that don't have a 2 pages.
Right. Right.
And I don't mind scanning in like they be talking about, oh, you got to scan it. You damn right, I'm finna scan in the trailer. Why? Because I don't want to have to pay for it. They paying for it. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
scanning in, let them so they can pay for it.
Right. Because that's how you get your money, that paperwork. I never had problems with paperwork, but watching some of these videos, they make it seem like Prime, like you got to do a whole bunch of shit. I'm like, damn.
Bro, they too lazy, bro. Bro, go with Snyder. And you got to do everything through a tablet. The
Mm-hmm.
tablets are 10 times slower. You got to open the camera up, take the picture, let it load the picture before you can take another picture. See, with Prime is different. You take the picture, you crop it how you want to, go to the next instantly. You
Yeah.
do everything through your phone, bro. You accept the load through your phone. You
Right.
do everything through the phone, bro. How is it
Right.
hard?
No, that's why I had to get you on the show because I done seen you moving and shaking, and I seen your success, you putting up the numbers. So I said, nah, Trucker B got to unpack this for us real quick because I see you doing your thing. And like another prime driver that I knew too, uh, he's doing his thing too. So, I mean, I see it a lot with prime, like y'all very popular out here. Even though there's other companies, I did some research. They say Snyder has a good lease division, Swift, Rowell, and Hirschbach. But like out of all of them, Prime is at the top. So and I've seen so many Prime drivers on the YouTube. So I'm like, yo, like Prime look like they doing their thing for real.
Man, look, they not even gonna give you a truck if they can't put a warrant on it.
Mm, that's
So
what's up.
every truck has a warrant on it.
Yeah,
You pretty much your job is you're responsible for like your tires, lube change, oil change, brakes, routine shit.
yeah.
Everything else to cover, like the transmission go out. You ain't paying for that. Prime is
So transmission and engine, Prime taking care of that.
everything. They not even gonna give you a truck if it's not on the water because they know. But I look like getting this driver a truck. He just started me. Ain't got no warrants on the transmission, and it go out. He ain't got no 20, $30,000 to replace the engine.
Right, right, right,
So they really go off the miles. I don't think they can mileage. I think they can get a warranty up to 500,000 miles.
right,
So if they give you a truck with 300 some thousand miles, they only gonna give it to you for a year. The average person gonna put like close to 100, if not over 100 in a year. So you still 100 to 500,000 miles. So they know this. So guess what they finna do? Pull you in. That's why they only gonna lease it to you for a year. And either you gonna renew your lease with another truck, or you gonna leave the company.
okay. So that don't sound bad at all. That really don't sound bad.
They don't talk about the purse, bro. I think more. I'm not. You know what it is, though, bro. With the YouTube, you get more views when you going through something.
Mm-hmm.
And when stuff going bad, if you talking about good stuff, ain't nobody finna watch your channel. They don't want to hear that.
Right.
It ain't exciting. They want to laugh at your failures.
Yeah, people want to hear the bullshit, the drama. Oh, he got into an accident. Oh, he got fired. The truck caught on fire. All
That's
kinds of
what they
shit.
want.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why a lot of YouTubers, like 95% of YouTubers, clickbait. But it is never gonna be unless it's just some real exciting news. It's gonna it's gonna always be something bad that happened.
Right. And you're right. That's how life is. Bad news travel faster than good news.
And that's why I don't get mad at somebody who clickbait. Because guess what? Majority of the time I learned majority of the stuff I know off a clickbait video trying to see what happened. And then I'm looking at the video and he's telling me some information and stuff that I took and ran with.
Mm-hmm. Nah, that's a fact, Trucker B, man. I'm glad you came on the show to unpack this lease driver division because it's been a lot of talk, and I just seen company drivers talk shit, and I've been seeing lease drivers. Some lease drivers explain it, but not to the extent that you just dropped for us today. So I'm glad you came on the show to let us know, especially about Prime and how they lease division is.
Yeah, I appreciate you for having me, bro.
Yeah, so what I mean, just take care, brother Trucker B, and what I mean, just drive safe.
You do the same, bro. It was a pleasure being here, bro.
All right, brother, take care.
You too.
All right.